I just went into the DMV.
Zach Moore's trip to get a valid photo ID to vote in the election hit a brick wall.
They said I needed my birth certificate from Illinois. The process is going to take up to 6 to 8 weeks.
But Moore, who lives in Wisconsin now, doesn't have that kind of time. His story, and others like it, will be considered Wednesday in a hearing by a federal judge who could suspend Wisconsin's voter ID law with just 4 weeks to go before the election.
Legal voters in places all across Wisconsin are being given inaccurate and incorrect information and being denied the ID that they need in order to be able to vote.
Ross, whose group is challenging the voter ID law, says the DMV didn't tell Moore that he could have applied for a voting credential that wouldn't have required him to get his birth certificate. And he says incorrect information like this is being given to potential voters at DMVs across the state.
There will be people who, as a result of this law being in place, will be denied their right to vote.
Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, who championed the voter ID law, acknowledged on Friday after the motion was filed that some DMVs were giving inaccurate information to voters. But he also said the problems had since been corrected. At the same time, Wisconsin voting rights advocates say they're getting bombarded with calls from voters, like this one.
I need to get an ID so I can vote. I really need someone to get a hold of me ASAP.
We have about 300 calls to make this weekend of voters who don't know exactly what they need to take with them when they go and vote, or maybe are unsure or don't know where to start to get an ID.
If the voter ID law is overturned, it could have a big impact on the presidential election. Research shows voter ID laws tend to depress turnout for Democratic voters more than Republican voters. And right now, the presidential candidates are neck and neck in Wisconsin. But the judge may rule to do nothing. And if so, McGrath wants people to know that she's here to help them get IDs.
We want to come in and make sure that all voters are clear and feel confident and feel excited to vote again.
For Circa, I'm Emily Atkin.